for tax increases, not just on individuals, but businesses as well, is the former governor of Illinois, Rod Blagojevich. He's the host of the Lightning Rod podcast and also lives in the state that is the most taxed in our union. Rod, great to see you as always.
Nice to see you, John. Thanks for having me.
Does it seem to you like Joe Biden wants to make all of America like Illinois, under the thumb of oppressive taxes?
Oh, very much so. It's the same playbook. Look, a lot of these professional career Democratic politicians are taxaholics, and they can't control themselves. It is amazing to me that after 1 year of a unprecedented worldwide pandemic, a virus that was killing people and killing jobs, when we were required to shelter in place and shut down economies, that a year goes by, and as we're on the cusp of recovering with the vaccine being distributed, which incidentally President Trump deserves all the credit for, that they would immediately want to do what they always want to do, and that is to tax the people of America. And then they lie about how they're going to do it. They say it's going to be only so much, and then when they get involved in actually cutting the tax policies, when they make their deals, it's always so much more. And notice who they're trying to tax. They're not taxing traditional Democratic voters. They're going after Republican voters. A lot of those voters in the suburbs who may have contributed to President Biden winning the election are the very ones that they now want to tax, because they know politically that that's a tax that they could be successful on. They don't look at the policy and how that might impact the economy or how it hurts people, because it's going to have a deleterious effect. I hope I said that word right.
That's a big word. That's a big one. But, a trickle-down effect on the taxes. I mean, if they raise taxes on, job providers or businesses that make this much money, they're going to pass those costs on to their consumers, their products. People will see the increase. We're already seeing inflation a little bit. We talked about the higher than expected new unemployment claims coming out today as well. There are some storm clouds on the horizon. Now, if you look at a map of Illinois, the red county, blue county map, folks would be surprised, considering it went Democrat and always goes Democrat, that there's only pretty much one county in Illinois now that's deep blue, right? Cook County.
Well, Cook County, right.
Yeah.
And the Collier County surrounding Chicago have been voting more Democratic lately. But out of the 102 counties, you can safely say that 96 of those counties will vote Republican. So they're red.
And you also have a lot of Trumpocrats in Illinois as well. And I wanted to play a clip that you're featured in. You're getting yourself back out there. You're having some fun with this, too. And we're going to say this is not supposed to be a slick Hollywood-style campaign commercial, but it does have a certain something to it. Let's watch it.
The only guy in American history to have ever been fired and freed by the same guy. So if I were advising the people of Orland Township what they may want to say to Paul O'Grady, I would tell them to say to Paul O'Grady, you're fired.
All right, so tell us who Paul O'Grady is and who are those gentlemen you're sitting with at the table and what's going on here in this ad.
Well, the young man in the middle, his name is Scott Kaspar. He's the Republican candidate for Orland Township supervisor. He's running against Paul O'Grady, who has been there for quite some time and over the past 4 years raised the taxes on the people there by 20%. Paul O'Grady is a disciple of Mike Madigan, who for nearly 40 years was the Democratic House Speaker. Illinois is the highest tax state in the nation because of Mike Madigan and his Madigoons. And this Paul O'Grady is a Madigoon. I understand he likes to dance a lot. Mike Madigan is the Pied Piper for a lot of these guys, even at the local level. And among the reasons why Illinois is taxed so high in so many different places is because you get these guys like O'Grady at the local level socking it to the people of Orland Township with higher taxes. And they do it little by little, nickel and dime, so they can get away with it. And the people know they have less money, but they can't quite figure out who it is that's doing it to them. Right. This is not by accident. This is by design. This is Madigan's way of taxing people. And here again, these people are Madigan, O'Grady. They're taxaholics. They can't resist the opportunity to tax people. Instead of solving the problems of the people by making the harder decisions that you're supposed to do in government, their first recourse is always to raise taxes. And O'Grady has done that, probably following dancing to the tune of Mike Madigan.
Well, the Speaker of the Illinois House is a very powerful position to be in, and Mike Madigan held that seat for a very long time. Kind of the poster guy for term limits. When you look at this stuff and one-party rule, it's all bad. One last question. We got about a minute left real quick, but we're learning that Michigan's Democratic Attorney General Dana Nessel says she will not investigate Governor Gretchen Whitmer's nursing home policy. Governor Blagojevich, some people say that the policy is similar to the one that Andrew Cuomo implemented in New York, but the AG in Michigan says she's not going to investigate. What do you think about that?
I think it's probably mirrors exactly what Andrew Cuomo was doing in New York. You know, politics and government is not unlike the NFL. It's a copycat league. And if something works one season for the team that wins the Super Bowl, then in the offseason, the NFL teams are trying to copycat what the winning team did. And she saw what Cuomo was doing in early March and the beginning of the pandemic when he and his brother were doing their shtick on television and they were media darlings. And I think she took from the Cuomo playbook and brought it over to Michigan. And as a result, she's got a lot of the same problems that he has, undercounting the number of deaths in nursing homes. That was certainly what happened in New York. That apparently is what happened in Michigan. So I'm not surprised at all about what's happening. And I think, again, the outrage should be twofold. One, bad policy, misguided, costing the lives of our elderly. Secondly, they're covering it up. And that could very well be criminal.
It's always the cover-up that gets you. Thanks so much, Governor. Great to see you as always.
Thanks, John. Thanks.